Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I didn't plan this to be this way. It just happened to work out this way. I was thinking about how I really don't have any St. Patrick's Day finishes. I have a wad of patterns kind of somewhere in my craft tote area, and I have no idea where they are. I'll pull them out, but I just don't even have a clue where they might be. I hope you're having a great day. The weather has been phenomenal here for the last few days. I think we're going to get 2 more days. It's been in the low to mid 70s, and you still might wear a sweatshirt outside, but if you're going to work in the yard, you don't need any of that. The sun's been shining at night. The sky's been clear, and stars just glitter in the sky. So my husband and I were talking the other day. He said, you know, we probably won't get more than 3 days of this, and then it'll be summer. I'm like, yeah, it'll be like 90. It'll be rain, and then it'll be 95 degrees. So at least it's not both usually. So I'm very grateful about that. I live in Oregon, so the weather it's unpredictable in the spring, but it's that way in a lot of places in the United States. Anyway, enough about the weather. What's going on? If you're new to my channel, my husband and I moved to Oregon. He retired. He's built a shop with an interior room that we live in, and we have a tiny house on the property as well that houses our kitchen, bathroom, and my workstation. We have been working with an engineering firm to finalize our plans, our house plans we bought online. It has been a struggle. It has. And so that fellow is no longer with the firm that we were working with, and the guy Todd's working with, my husband's Todd, has been great. I expect that it will be expedited. So we're looking forward to that. Then Todd will submit the plans to the county. It's a good county to work with. Then he will start forming up the foundation, and we will start building a house. Just like I'm waiting for it to finally happen. So that's the plan. And I have been stitching. Oh, we went on vacation. We went to Grand Canyon area. We flew to Las Vegas and drove to St. George. That's where we stayed. The first day we went to Zion National Park. It was incredible. I'll put some pictures at the end here. It was incredible. It was the first day the shuttle buses were running. So it was so fortunate that we got there at that time, and it wasn't overrun with tourists because it's not quite spring break yet. The next day we went to the Grand Canyon. The North Rim was closed, so we had to drive 5 hours to the South Rim. We decided to stay the night there because we didn't know how much time it would take for us to really see what we wanted to see. And we were able to pretty much knock it out in one day. We were going to go to Arches the next day. It was a 5-hour drive to Arches. Then you're in Arches. Then it was a 5-hour drive home. And we just decided we weren't up for that. So my husband said, you know, I've always wanted to go to one of these places called a slot canyon. And it's where it's basically sandstone, but water and wind have eroded the sandstone down. Kind of, they're narrow canyons, and you walk through, they're mostly kind of like an S pattern. And as you look up the sandstone, when the light comes through, and the walls are like 30 to 60 feet high, it just illuminates the inside of that canyon. So it's like crimson and orange and yellow. It's so gorgeous. We had a beautiful day for that. So we did that on our way back to where we were staying in St. George. And the next day we were going to go to Bryce Canyon, and we'd already driven 1,000 miles. We just said, we'll come back and see Arches and Bryce Canyon. So we hung out, went to an old fort in the middle of the desert. I did a little shopping, and then the next day we went home. So that was our vacation. It was fantastic. A beautiful part of the United States. I'm glad to be back where it's green. I like the green where I live. It's very lush here. So, but I love exploring. Now, I have been stitching. And I'm going to show you a couple. I have 2 finishes and a couple other whips that I worked on, because it's been a few weeks since we last talked. So the first one I want to show you is what I worked on when I was in St. George. And this turned out to be an unexpected finish. So this is Let Freedom Ring. It's by Abby Rose Designs. And I apologize. I think she is not printing. She has some health issues. She's not printing patterns right now. So I already had, like I started this in 2020, I think. I already had that. And it was, before I started working on it again, I think I had this urn and crow done, this side border, a little bit of this border, and a little bit of the house. I think I had the door and a little bit of this, and that's all it was. Well, I came home. I worked on it while I was down there in Arizona and Utah. And then when I got home, I just kept working on it until I finished it because I had momentum. And when you have momentum, like, you know that finish is coming. So I think most stitchers just try and plow through and finish it. So what did I do differently on this? I think this is 40 count platinum, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go look at my spreadsheet to see. The bottom flowers, outside flowers, are called for a thread that absolutely melted into my fabric. And it's supposed to be kind of ghosty, but you couldn't even tell there were stitches there at all. And I changed it for Rose Garden, General Art Rose Garden. And what I love about this thread is it's pink, but it is so variegated that the flowers don't even look alike at all. And so it looks like I stitched the outside flowers with like 4 different threads when it's not. It's just one thread. It's well variegated. The flag on this one is adorable. I really enjoyed stitching that flag, and had some substitutions on here, but they were pretty darn close to the original. So unexpected finish. It's one of my 12 or 13 pieces I have as a focus for this year. So I was glad to finish that one. I had been working on Susanna Milne. And I mean, before I left for vacation, then when I got back, I stitched and stitched and stitched on this. And I've now called it my forever sampler because it took for darn ever for me to finish it. It is stitched on 40 count Zweigart powdered pink or powdered rose. Let's see if I can get this on here. It's so big. And I finished her. So this is a Hands Across the Sea pattern. I think this is the first one I ever bought. And she is gorgeous. She is so pretty. This is just like, this is the best time of year to have stitched it because it's on this pink and it's got the greens and the yellows, and it looks like it's an Eastery type of a finish because of the colors on here. These birds, I mentioned it in previous videos, they look like they have the hats of the guys from Devo in the 80s, and I think that's hilarious. I love stitching these flowers. They're sort of wonky and they're not perfectly matched. This border was it was forever. It took forever. And there are 120 flowers and 120 leaves in here. I think that's what I calculated. But it wasn't hard. Like this, they were mirrored all the way through. So you knew exactly what you were going to be stitching, and that's fine. So I would do 4 sets of one, and then I'd come back and do 4 sets of the other. And so then you get this much done. What else? Okay. So on the sampler, if you watched my last video, I think I had done this vase here. And this satin stitch border, I was going to change it to alternating Smyrna and rice stitches. So I did about 20 of those stitches and it looked very jumbled. And so I think it's because it was all the same color thread and it's a darker thread. You just couldn't see the definition as well. You could with the Smyrna, but not with the rice stitch. So I pulled it all out. Then I thought, well, I'll do the whole thing in Smyrnas. So I did it all with Smyrnas and it looked very uniform. And I really kind of liked it, but you could see more of the pink behind it. I really didn't want that. So I pulled it all out and then I did an alternating Smyrna and satin stitch, vertical satin stitch, and it looked okay, but it wasn't really what I was going for. Then I pulled that out and I did an alternating Smyrna and diagonal satin stitch, and I liked that quite a bit, but the edges along the top and bottom looked, I don't know, they just weren't very crisp. So I took it out and I just did a satin stitch, and it's the best. I should have just gone with what Nicola had charted this in and what Susanna Milne originally stitched. So it turned out really pretty. What else can I say? This is stitched in DMCs. I think that there is I'm sure that there's a silk. It has a Versoix in DMC called for on here, but this was a joy to stitch. A joy. I loved it. So that was my big finish. It was a 2XL project on my WIP list spreadsheet. It was the thing I really wanted to get done first. And I'm glad to have that done. And I'll show you where I went after here. So once I finished that, I was going to pick up my Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow and finish my March block. But I've got time for that. And I was not sure if I wanted to get going on that or pick something else up. So again, it's spring and all of the Easter colors have me going. Like, isn't this gorgeous? So this is Peaceful Garden, a Peaceful Garden Sampler by Moira Blackburn. This is an oldie chart. I'm not even sure when it was produced. Does it say on here? I think it originally came as a kit and I bought the pattern. Well, I started it, again, I think that was like a 2018 start. And I want to say this also might be platinum. And I did a conversion, so it looks much lighter and more watercolory. Oops. Let's see if we can hold this. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take that away. I'll make it easier. So the blue is Rain Shower, and the greenish blue is Green Pasture. I have a conversion, but I'm changing some things as I go. And I came in here, I thought, I'm just going to stitch a little bit of this, right? So I've already had this and this. And so I filled this in. I had half of these, so I filled that in. I stitched this. I stitched a little bit more in this. And that was really in about 2 days' time. So I kind of am thinking about, this wasn't on my focus list, but I'm going to stitch this, and then I'll finish my Hawk Run Hollow this month, and I'll try to get as much of this done as I can in March. And we'll see where I am. If I'm pretty close, I'll probably just forge ahead and finish it. It was kind of an unexpected thing that I hadn't planned on working on, but hey, it's cross stitch. It's for fun, and you can do whatever you want. It does still kind of have that 80s, 90s vibe to it, but I'm not unhappy about that. I really like the composition. The girl that's on here on this side, I haven't stitched her yet. She's feeding chickens. It's sort of a botanical look to it. And it's been a lot of fun to stitch on. So I've been working on that. And I think what I like about this pattern is that you can just finish little sections, right? There's little motifs that keep you going forward because you're completing things. And the last one, I just spent just a tiny bit of time on this one last night. And this is Pineberry Lane, A Token of Friendship. My sister had a barbecue last night, and so we went over there, and this is my travel piece. I have it in a beautiful little folio that Diane, the woodpecker's daughter, made, and I got from the attic last fall. She gave them as gifts. It takes all I have not to just work on this and finish it, because it's one of my 2 smalls that I have left in my WIP pile, but I'm going to leave it because it really is the perfect travel piece. I stitch it in hand. I don't have to take a bunch of stuff. It's just very easy to take with me. So what did I do? I worked on a little bit on the leaves, just a little bit up here. And it's such a pretty piece. It just sort of almost looks like Easter lilies. You know how it has that sort of bell-shaped flower. It's very kind of whimsical, the design. The leaves I really like a lot on here. This is the kit linen. I don't remember what it was. Does it say on here? R&R Weathered Shingle. And this is a kit from R&R, so it probably is the called for fabric. So those are the things I worked on, and the finishes. I'm so happy to have finishes. So, oh, this is hilarious. When I picked up Peaceful Garden, for some reason, I had like 10 of these bags. I had the flosses put in by color family into these bags, and on my floss ring, now I put them on a floss ring, I have like 2 endives, 3 green pastures. I don't know why I have so many multiples. Maybe I thought I was going to need them all. I don't know. Anyway, I put them on a floss ring and I'm much happier. And then when I was in the bag, the project bag, I found some flosses that I had put in another bag, and I wrote Francis caught Brenda Gervais. So I'm glad I looked in there, because I probably would be like, I think I'm going to start that. I know I bought some threads for it. I wonder where I put them. So I found them ahead of time. What else? Okay, so when we were in Utah, St. George, I did that last day before we traveled home. I did do a little shopping. I went to some thrift stores. There wasn't that much, honestly. There's not much, and it was cute, but that, I think on the West Coast, there's just not as much. There's not as much that's moved west in terms of antiques. There wasn't a lot there. But I did find at a local quilt store called Scrap Apple. That was a cute little store. A couple of these books. This is Needle Love, Halloween. And I love this turkey. It's adorable. Also, this one. And look at that scarecrow quilt. Isn't that cute? And this guy. Lots of cute stuff in there. And also, what is this one called? Spooky Threads. The Halloween one. Now, honestly, I couldn't remember if I had this one or not. I love this. Love it. So, if I have already bought this one, it'll probably be in a future giveaway. I was pondering, I thought, well, I don't know. I could be somewhere in the shop. I have no idea. And then my friend Susan Stanley, she has her channel, she has First Stitches, and she's done some kits of pieces of reproduction fabric, and she has all kinds of eye candy on her site. Well, if you watch her last video, she had some shears that she's had made, some sewing shears, and I wanted to for sure support her, so I ordered them. And this little ladies dressmaker, oh, isn't that cute? This is clearly a drawing. This little card came with it. I feel like I want to just frame this and put it in my future craft room. So it came like this. I think Susan made, I think she said she made the little container that holds the shears. They're offered in 7 and 8 inch blades. I already have gingers that are 8 inch, so I went ahead and ordered the 7 inch. These are gorgeous, and it says First Stitches is engraved on the blade on the left facing side. And what Susan explains is, of course, we didn't have rotary cutters back in the day, and dressmakers would weight, the scissor makers would, for the dressmakers, weight the back of the scissor so that it would help you cut more true. And it also has this to basically guide along on the cutting surface. So I do love a good accessory, and a beautiful one also. So I bought those from Susan. Now, a couple things. Michelle Rudy had some winter brew on her website. She got a nice little chunk of it, and I ordered, this is 40 count winter brew. I guess I could turn it this way. I also bought from her It's Spring, so Brenda Gervais' new release. I've seen people stitching this. It's so pretty. I love spring stitching. I probably don't do a lot of it, but I love the color palette. And, you know, I don't clearly love it in December, but when it's spring, it's so, where I live, it looks like freshly manicured lawns with so many flowers and so many flowering trees in the area that I just, it's definitely a season of newness. I'm going to go ahead and I'll tell you about giveaways in a minute. I'll tell you just a little bit more about some haul here. Tanya from the Scarlet Letter showed this on a picture on Instagram, and I immediately went over and ordered it. It is basically a place where you can park needles and you can write your color of that needle, the thread that's on that needle. I think this is erasable, so you probably could use like a dry erase marker on it. You might also put a piece of paper that you tape to it, that you just write the numbers onto if you want to do that. This is from Margaret Lee Needle Art on Etsy. And I bought just the one, but I am excited to use this because there are times when I'm like, I just need to have a few needles going here. It would be much more efficient. Something non-stitch related that I bought. This is from Tapology. And again, okay, so Instagram. I'm very wary about what I buy on Instagram because most of the time it comes from China. It takes forever. And I've had so many orders be completely wrong. And there's really no way to return it. So I just don't even order anything off of Instagram Reels anymore. I look for it off of Amazon. So I bought an Easter puzzle. It cost me $10 less and it got here in a few days when I ordered it from Amazon. Same exact puzzle. There's a tip for you. Now this, I went and looked on their website, this Tapology, and they have the most adorable, these are not stickers, they are transfers. So you could like make Easter eggs, color on whatever you want to do, and you just rub these on, and it reminds me of when our childhood, and did you ever do that when you were a kid? Have transfers? Also, I saw them made it, and this made me think of Molly from Linens and Scraps. They had little banners. You can make a triangle, like a almost a, not a burlap, but like a rougher kind of fabric, a little more primitive. And then but it was a smaller weave. And then they just burnished it onto that, and they made a banner. It was so stinking cute. So cute. So many things, so many ideas with this. So I bought those. There's 6 sheets of this, and they threw in a little kind of gift with purchase. I suppose you could try and rub those onto a page like in a journal. I don't know. Market. So let's talk about Market. At first I was kind of like, well, it's all right. But then I'm just like, as the peaks started coming in, I thought, oh, I'm sure making a list. I ordered from Abby Top Knot Stitches several patterns that she picked up at Market, and she has outstanding customer service. Outstanding. Everything I ordered, I got. She got home. It was in the mail. I had it in a few days. So it was amazing. This is probably my #1 pick from Market. Many Mansions. This is by Annie B's Folk Art. I love the color palette. I absolutely love those stylized birds. And I may start this one in April. This is not a huge piece. It is 134 by 162. I love the frame she picked for that too. Annie B's Folk Art. So I was one of the fortunate people who got Spring Quaker. I think that there was a run on this and they ran out. I'm a huge fan of the Quakers from Primrose Cottage. I love all of them. I plan to probably buy all of them. The Tiny Towns, I liked those too. I have several of the Tiny Towns. I probably won't buy them all, but the frosty one looks adorable. I think one, either Linny or Roberta from the Sable Stitchers showed that too. And y'all are so fast. There are people that have this and they already have it finished. I'm like, how'd you get it done so quickly? Yeah. Now, Abby got me all of the Stacy Nash. So Stacy Nash, she killed me this Market. This is like the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's so darn cute. And I was out antiquing yesterday and I found this that I might use. It might be a little too tall. He might be a little too top heavy, but this is a different spool. I don't know. It's like, I don't know what it is. I think there was an explanation on the tag, but I didn't keep the tag. So, but this could be a thing. Like I could have this. Wouldn't that be darn cute? Oh. And then Miss Hazel, the fox with the pin keep. Is that a pin keep? I don't know. Anyway, it's Miss Hazel. Looks like a pin keep to me. Some people have already finished this. Again, this one's super popular, Maggie May. Very adorable little rabbit. I really liked this. This was her Nashville exclusive. I might stitch this one first. I've not done a mattress finish before, but I think I could do it. And then Calling of the Sea. Oh, I love that. I love them all. I love that whale. Naughty Cole. All right, what else is in here? I did not spare myself on this market. My sister and my mom and I went up to Acorns and Threads for their market day. So we were there on Friday, and I picked up a couple things. So I did not order this from Abby. I think this one was added later, and I had already put my order in, so I thought, oh, I'll get it later. I love this one. And this one is 121 by 104. But look at that chicken with the hat on it. It's so cute. Scattered Seed Designs. I'm not in her club kit. I'm not in her club. And sometimes I'm like, I should be in her club, but those are all club kits up there. I have no business getting any more kits, although I do love a kit. If you want to lure me and just, show me a kit, there could be anyway, I'm not going to go there. This I saw at Janine's at Acorns and Threads, and boom, I had to have this. I think there's another 1 or 2 patterns in this release. It's not, it's separate from this, that are also needlework related accessories. Like, words are hard today. It's St. Patrick's Day. It says, may our home be filled with love. Oh my gosh. And look at that. All the goods are in there. All of them. Makes me want to start that. Then Teresa Kogut and God Saw. Teresa had a bang up market. Boy, does she have some beautiful things. And I looked at some of my threads. I bought a couple threads in my purse, but I think I have everything I need to start this. I'm trying to be good, you guys. I'm trying to knock down my whips. Serenity. So beautiful. The composition's so beautiful on this. And then last, I bought this. I went back and forth on whether I should buy the fat half or the fat quarter. And I bought a fat quarter. This is Fabrics by Stephanie Linen, 40 count Friendship Green. So it's sort of a blue green. It's not an olive green. It's a beautiful green. Can you tell I kind of like green? It kind of reminds me of what I stitched Andale on. I stitched Andale on Vintage Patina by Lakeside. This is very similar to that fabric. So if you're looking for a fabric that's a substitute, I've never seen Vintage Patina or Patina in the wild. I've never seen it anywhere. Janine had to order it for me when I did Acorns, when I did Andale. This is a great substitute. I have one, and I love red on this color. This color with red on it is fantastic. It is more green than Vintage Tundra. It's definitely green. It's not blue. So I have something in mind for that particular fabric. All right. Did I show you this last time? I can't remember. Martha Walmsley. So many people are stitching this, and I think Contented Needleworker Kim just did this. I don't know if it's this one or if it's a different one. They look the same to me. But this is a Hands Across the Sea. It's so pretty. I've seen a few people start in the upper left corner, and that is what sold me. When I saw that border being stitched, I was like, oh, I have to have that. So I got on with Hobby House Needleworks in New York, ordered it. It was here super quickly. I was really happy to have that. One last thing. Nope, there's 2 more things about haul. I forgot to mention when we arrived in Las Vegas, I suggested to my husband that we go to Stitcher's Paradise. And he's like, yeah, we got plenty of time. We don't have anything planned that day. So if you want to stop on the way. And so I was like, I'm driving the car just to make sure we don't miss the exit. So we got there, and I really was only in there for maybe a half an hour. I'll throw some pictures on the end of the video to show you, but it is such an adorable shop. I walked in, and who's sitting there but my friend Julie, that I met at the very first Mirabelli retreat. And she's been to several, she goes to all of them. I've been to a few. And she's such a warm, wonderful person. She just jumped up and gave me a hug and introduced me to the other stitchers that are at the table. There's a table, kind of a smaller table at the front of the shop. It's sort of like sitting around your kitchen table. It's intimate. You're surrounded with beautiful things. And that, as you walk back, there is, again, I only had like a half an hour, a wall. There's a room with a fabric room with a wall of fabric. It was incredible. And then I was looking for a couple patterns. It was an Abbey Rose pattern. And I guess the back room is amazing. It has all the overstock and older stock. Anyway, I didn't even go in there because I thought my husband would come in and I'm like, where are you going? What are you doing? In the fabric, basically they have the fabric folded in half, like you would see a flat fold of quilting fabric at a store. And I found a piece of 40 count vintage sand dune from Lakeside. That was a score. It's so beautiful, just gorgeous. And so I'm always looking for the treasures, treasures in the bottom of the sea. I bought that. And there were some Abbey Rose designs that she had that I hadn't seen before, or maybe I just hadn't seen them in stock in other stores before. This is O Come All Ye Faithful. That would be an adorable ornament. Share the Joy of Christmas. Adorable. And she had some more of these. And Good Tidings to You. These stockings, 2018 sampler stockings. Goodwill to All and All Come Home to Christmas. Look at how cute these are. I think I might have this one, not sure. Long May She Wave. That looks like the same, that's the same flag as Let Freedom Ring. I wouldn't mind stitching that a second time, quite frankly. I'm not sure if I have this one either. This is Hometown Christmas. And look at it says Needle Shop. So cute. Oh, and the last one, this one I tried to order for somewhere else that was out of stock. Merry Be Your Christmas, Peace Will Be Your Heart. That would be pretty on that green fabric. All right. Oh, and one more. I bought another Shepherd's Bush kit. Look at how stinking cute that is. If you've never been on Shepherd's Bush website, I think they have all their kits that they have on their website. So if you're looking for one, go there. Now, yesterday, I don't get out. I mean, we went on vacation, but there can be like 2 weeks, 3 weeks that go by and I don't even leave our house. And I don't really even leave our property. Like I don't even walk down the road. So sometimes I get out, I go a little crazy. I met a gal at a town that was about an hour away, and she had posted this on Facebook Marketplace. And one thing about it, if you see something, you gotta, ask if it's available right away. This is a sewing basket. This is like a plastic, and it's how do I do this? I think I do it like this. You tip the lid off, and look, there's a little tomato and a place to put your spools of thread. And when I saw this, and this is by Princess, a company from Illinois. I don't know if they're the same people that made the hoops or not. But this was very reasonable. And it was like a cash transaction, boom, done. And so I had time to kill. And I went to a fabric store in Dallas, Oregon called Grandma's Attic. My mom has talked about it before. It is so adorable. They had repurposed embroidery made into aprons. They had tons of Lori Holt fabric, tons. And they had like an apron made with a Lori Holt vignette on it. They had reproduction fabrics in a section. They were doing a Quilts of Valor dedication that day. So there were other people coming into the store for that. And they are just delightful. So if you're in the area, they are well worth going to see. And I'll throw some pictures at the end of the video to show you. Let me tell you what I got there. So I have seen this a couple times. Quilt Seeds, Lori Holt. I picked up some fat quarters to make this. And the background, they didn't have this background. It's kind of a neutral sort of peaches. It very much looks like the border here. But instead, I bought this fabric. Now, I've seen this, but I think it was in a different colorway. Well, I do love me some pink. I'm just going to say. So I think I'm going to make this background on this and make these sewing tomatoes. So I'm going to put a couple of needles in here. My husband's going to roll his eyes when he sees that, but whatever. And then I also bought these 3 Quilt Seed. These are from, which line is this? Prairie. I bought the kit for Prairie for one of her kits. Actually, sorry, there's the 3. I didn't buy any fabric. I probably should go over and buy some more for that. And then I bought this one. This one was made up at the store. It's really cute. And I also bought this fabric, which I like. This is her dots, I think. It's called, it's from her cookbook line. Well, I love this color. It's sort of a taupe with pink and aqua. And there's so much you could sew with that. So I bought that. And that was all from the fabric store. Then I stopped at the antique store on my way home. You know, I'm gone. I thought I was going to be gone 2 hours. I was gone a good 4 hours. Look at this. Handy Mending Kit. I think somebody tried to scratch their name on there at one point. The tiniest little spools of thread you've ever seen. I think they just put tissue in there to keep them from rolling around. So cute. Then I also bought this spool there. And there is a sewing machine at the store that I sent Lori a picture, and we were going back and forth. She's like, you should buy that. So I might go out today. I don't need another sewing machine, but I might buy it anyway. I heard my husband come in the shop. So that's what's been going on with me. So in 2 weeks, it'll be Easter weekend, and I have a meetup with some friends to stitch that Saturday. So I'm not sure if I'll have a video that weekend or if it will be the next weekend. I'm kind of on a 3-week binge right now, and as summer comes in and we really, you know, I think viewership kind of tends to go down because people are busy. Y'all are on vacation, or you're outside gardening, you know, working in your yard, I don't know, doing all the summer things. We just tend to not spend as much time on our devices watching Flosstube. That's it. Oh, nope. Gosh, I almost forgot. I had 3 giveaways last time. So there's a lot of people that like golden urns. I'm just going to say. The words were golden, urn, and wish. So the winners of this pattern by Heartstring Samplery, wish is at Catherine Lauren 5219. Golden Delicious by the Artsy Housewife, which also includes the threads, is at Quilting with Sandy 1969. And the urn is at Carol Neville 922. I'm going to go ahead and put my email address in the drop-down menu. I'm so glad I said something. I sure hope that y'all waited to the end to hear who the winner was. I should have put it at the beginning of the video. But that's it for now, and I hope you have a blessed the rest of March, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Instagram. Take care. It's a spring that just comes out of this rock, flows down through the swamp and into the river.
Like sometimes it'll hit the top of a whole bunch, and sometimes it's just where it's going.
Depending on how heavy that rainfall is. Yeah. But the last major flood we had in this canyon, according to my coworker, was about 2 years ago during the monsoon season.
This is so cool. Not for the claustrophobic though. I'm at a store in Dallas, Oregon called Grandma's Attics Emporium. This is one of the cutest quilt stores I've been in a really long time. Look at these. Can you stand how cute this is? Repurposed embroidery into an apron. And they have a lot of Lori Holt. I mean, when I say a lot, they have a lot. I love the bunting up here. Look at that. What a great way to display a line of fabric. Look at that. That is so dang cute. That is so cute. So they're having a Quilt of Valor unveiling today at this store, which is awesome. And they have embroidery. They're working on bringing some cross stitch in, which is fantastic. Oh, I have a quilt top like this. My grandmother had. It's very similar. That is gorgeous. Eye candy everywhere here.
I'm going to get also keep
Reproductions, Civil Works. Olivia at Pumpkin Hollow. Have you been to this store yet? quick.
Hello. Good. Is it bad?
That's hilarious, right in the middle of everything. Look at that one. That's fantastic.